Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. Um, Today we are going to be analyzing GBPJPY, gold and GBP for the 23rd of October to the 28th of October, the week that is coming. If you remember last week, I said that we are expecting a pullback into this area around here and a push up, but we actually ended up respecting this support 181.500. So we need to see what happens. So if we go on the weekly time frame, we can still continue our analysis of saying, yes, there's a huge wick to the upside. Yes, we've respected this body. We are respecting 181.500. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weekly candles into this area. But the last week was very volatile, very sideways, very choppy. If you're a trader that likes trading in consolidative markets where it's bouncing back and forth from a support and a resistance continuously, maybe for some of you, you gained a lot of money, you earned a lot of percentage gains this week, and for some of you, you may be lost because you're not favored towards that market condition. And if you're not favored towards it, the primary thing you should be doing is trying to get stronger, trying to practice in more consolidative markets, especially if you're only trading one pair, because you want to be dynamic, you want to be able to exploit opportunities as much as you can, no matter what market condition it is. That's the whole point of being a great trader. No matter what condition it is, you're ready for it. But sometimes it's just that you cannot, it's difficult, right? Sometimes it's just very choppy. And I feel like it was one of those weeks last week. So we can see that price is currently maintaining above around, I would say around 181.6, right? These bodies 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think that if we are going to push up, we will come into 186 if we are pushing up, right? If we're going to go up, we're going to at least come to 186. And I think if we are going to push down, we're going to at least come to 172, 178, which is this area of resistance, right? Our previous weekly structural point. So we need to see what happens. Even if you look at the daily, it's a beautiful level. Yeah. So we need to see what happens there. So let's just focus on the daily right now. As again, we can see that we broke structure. If you look, we had a lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower low, lower low, break of structure. And now we're looking for the pullback. And we look like we are pulling back into this area around here. So are we going to get this continuation up? Potentially. The daily is clearly bullish. The weekly is clearly bullish. The 4-hour is very choppy. And I think the 4-hour is currently bearish. Because if you see high, higher low, break structure, lower highs. So yeah, we're still quite bearish. So for me, we need to take out this high right here. And if you look, the reason this is our lower low, because first this was our lower low, but we broke that low, right? The body closed below that, this body closed below that body, so we formed a lower low. But what was the recent high before we broke this low? We have a lower low here because we broke this low. The way we get the lower high is by seeing what was the previous elbow pullback which broke this low. And if I go back, I can see this was the previous high made. So this is our previous high. For us to get a break of structure, we need to break this area, retest it, and then we can start looking for some buys. I hope that makes sense. And that was just a quick overview of market structure. But yeah, so I want to break off that area. But firstly, we need to see if we like this red ray on the weekly time frame. It looks nice, it looks good, but I think we can just adjust it a bit on the 4-hour and get it a bit more cleaner, right? So we can see this body to body. Yeah. All right, so what can I see? I can see that price has come into this area once, came into it again, came into it a third time last week, fourth time last week, fifth time last week. So it's definitely a strong area of support. I didn't buy here because it's just that we've tapped it once, we've tapped it twice, we've tapped it 3 times. I'm not so confident that a full 5th time will still respect it. Sometimes after it's respected it 2, 3, 4 times, sometimes it breaks, right? And it goes to the next low. So yeah, I wasn't really interested in those buys. Especially with this choppiness as well. So what I'm looking for, if we go on the daily time frame, I'm looking for a break So we can see this is a nice resistance. If we just pay attention, rejection, rejection, breakthrough, pullback, came into this area, right? Rejected, broke above, came back below with an engulfing candle, rejected it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and we dropped multiple times into one for nearly 140 pip move to the downside. So now, for me to want to look for buys, I would perfectly like a daily closure above, a pullback, and we can look for TP1, TP2, or a TP3. We can look for huge moves to the upside. Yeah, and that's really it. So yeah, let's try put a zone on this. It's a bit tricky to put a zone because there's a lot going on. Maybe the daily will make it easier. Probably quite a big zone. Yeah, I think that's good. So what we want is a 4-hour closure above, a pullback, and we can look for buys into here. If we can break this area, we can look for buys into here, into here, into here. But overall, I think we will at least get into this area of resistance if we're going to push to the upside. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, very choppy, right? Look on the 4-hour. We had a nice doji. We came back into this area, we engulfed, we came back into this area. You could maybe even look for another tap into this area before push to the upside. But yeah, it's very choppy. It's very choppy. The market conditions are not the most ideal right now. Yeah, yeah. Okay, perfect. There's a possibility that we could come all the way back down here, but I don't see that happening right now. But there's that possibility as well because the weekly is pending a big pullback like this. So that's definitely a possibility in the future. But as of right now, as long as we maintain above 181,391, I'm looking for buys only. I'm only looking for buys. If we go into gold, gold is quite straightforward right now. We can clearly see on the weekly time frame. This is just my analysis from last week. I just have so many zones, but yeah, so we can see that we had the weekly bullish candle. We had a pullback. If you remember in my last week video, I said that we want to pull back into this area. We literally missed it by 1 or 2 pips or a few 10 pips or whatever, and price pushed up. Now the price has closed above this body, and this body. So we've closed above all these highs. We've closed above. We've had a nice wick rejection. So I think that we will continue our bullish momentum, but a pullback looks like it's due. So maybe we can see some sort of another leg to the upside where we wick up, then we can see a potential pushback down, something like this candle right here, this candle right here, on Monday 24th July, and we can see a pullback into this area before we do continue our upside momentum, right? Similar to this, exactly like this, pullback, continue upside momentum into 2040, right? So that's what we're looking for. If you go on the 4-hour time frame or the daily time frame, you can see we left a huge wick to the upside, which tells us that momentum is starting to slow down. We've also pinched above these highs, right? So we've taken out and potentially grabbed some liquidity as well. If you are that type of trader, we can combine all these confluences and put it into one. Writing it down will make it even more easier to understand, right? Yes, we have this wick to the upside. Yes, we have this 4-hour wick to the upside as well. All I would like is a closure below this red ray on the hourly, right? Because we can see we're sideways on the 4-hour. So I think we may get a pullback or we may continue up. We may continue our 4-hour trend. Look at this, small pullback, small pullback, small pullback, a bit bigger pullback, sideways pullback, continue. We may continue our trend. So why am I going to buy right now? I can only buy if we break below, retest, and I can potentially look for sales into our previous 4-hour structural point or into our previous 4-hour support. Once we get that, like this, I am looking for buys to continue up. That is that for me. That is gold. GBPAUD, what can we see? So we were clearly bullish on the weekly time frame, but as I said, look at this. Yeah, We can see we had a double top, but we pinched above the previous high in our double top, we pinched above the previous high in our double top. So I can see something like that happening again, where we have a double top and we pinch above the previous high in our double top. So I'm expecting price to continue its upside momentum. We can see that price came into this area in the past and pumped into 1,001.99, right? We had another rejection here. We have an engulfing where we closed above the body. We have one wick to the downside, another wick to the downside. The issue for me here is that we have no candle wick to the upside, right? There's literally no wick. So buyers could not push price up at all. Yes, this is a hammer, but that just puts me off a little bit because, yeah, maybe I think this week, overall, I would like this. I just feel like usually the hammer happened in a really random place, right? There was no wick to the upside. So maybe we may form a wick to the upside and just stay like that this next week, especially as we're finalizing into the last week of October. It's a bit tricky based off this weekly candle. But if we do get clean daily closures above this area, we can clearly see we're forming high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Sorry, potential higher high. And then we can come back for that higher low, and then we can look for buys into 195, which is I think it's quite small. I think at least 197 or 199. Sells, do I want to sell? No, not necessarily. Yeah, we had a sell here. Yeah, we had a sell here. No, daily's bullish, 4 hours bullish. But it's definitely a possibility, but no, not feeling it. Yeah, not feeling it, not feeling it, not feeling it. I would anticipate a break and a retest, but yeah, it's just a weekly wick where there was no wick to the upside last week, so it has put me off a little bit, but we can see what happens. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I would maybe say that gold is the most clear right now. GBPJPY is a bit sideways, but we kind of know what we want to do. We're like, all right, cool. If we want to buy, I am not buying anywhere in the middle of this. No matter how nice it looks, I'm not doing that. I'm only waiting for a break, a clean break, a retest, and I will look for buys. As soon as we get into this area here, I will move my stop loss to break even, and we can see where price will go. And yes, that's all from me. Yep, that's all from me. Just zoom out, see that daily. Yeah, I think I'm waiting for a full break retest and buys into 186. If I miss that entry, I'll look for a break and retest of this. So there's many chances to get in the trade. Yeah. All right, cool. If you have any questions, please do leave a comment below. If there's any certain type of videos you want me to cover, do let me know. And yeah, thank you very much. I hope you all have a great trading week.